Have you ever wandered down the coffee aisle, overwhelmed by labels full of unfamiliar terminology, single origin, washed process, bourbon varietal, 1800 MASL, and wondered what it all means? You're not alone. For many coffee lovers, labels can seem like coded messages meant only for experts. But behind every bag is a story about where the coffee came from, how it was grown, processed, and roasted, and that story holds the key to finding the perfect cup for your taste. Learning to decode these details turns coffee buying into an informed, enjoyable experience rather than a guessing game. Coffee labels are more than decorative branding. They are a compact information system that helps you understand the quality, origin, and flavor profile of what you're about to brew. Whether you're a seasoned home barista or just starting your journey into specialty coffee, knowing how to read a label like a pro gives you the power to choose beans that match your brewing style and flavor preferences. This guide will walk you through each part of the label in detail, empowering you to make confident and delicious coffee choices every time. Origin. Where the coffee comes from. The origin of coffee is one of the most defining factors of its flavor profile. A label may list not only the country of origin but often the specific region, farm, or cooperative where the beans were grown. For instance, a coffee from Yirgacheffe in Ethiopia typically offers bright acidity and floral or tea-like notes, while a Colombian bean from Hula might display caramel sweetness and a balanced body. Kenyan coffees are often prized for their bold, berry-like intensity, while Brazilian beans are known for low acidity and nutty chocolate undertones. Single-origin coffees, which come from one specific location, highlight the unique characteristics of that region, while blends combine beans from multiple origins to achieve consistency or layered flavor profile. Roast level. Light, medium, or dark. The roast level on a coffee label refers to how long and to what degree the beans were roasted, which greatly influences the flavor, aroma, and body of the coffee. A light roast retains more of the bean's natural flavor and acidity and tends to highlight fruity, floral, or citrusy notes. These are ideal for those who enjoy bright, complex flavors and typically suit manual brewing methods like pour-over or AeroPress. Medium roast offers a balanced profile with moderate acidity and body, often showcasing chocolate, caramel, or nutty tones and suiting a wide range of brewing styles. Dark roast, on the other hand, brings a bold, smoky, and sometimes bittersweet flavor, often masking the bean's origin in favor of roast-derived notes. These are best suited for espresso or French press methods. Some labels may also use traditional terms like city, full city, Vienna, or French, to indicate roast levels with more specificity. Processing method. How the beans were treated. Processing method refers to how the coffee cherry is handled after harvest to extract the bean from its fruit. This step is essential because it influences the final flavor, clarity, and texture of the coffee. In the washed or wet process, the fruit is removed through fermentation and water before drying, which often results in a clean, crisp cup with pronounced acidity and bright notes. The natural or dry process allows the whole cherry to dry with the fruit intact, leading to sweeter, fruitier, and sometimes heavier-bodied coffees. The honey process, which is a hybrid of the two, leaves some of the mucilage, the sticky fruit layer, on the bean while drying. This produces a sweet, syrupy profile with a balance of clarity and richness. Understanding processing methods helps in predicting how complex, fruity, or clean a coffee might taste. Altitude. The higher, the better? Altitude is another critical component on a coffee label that affects how the beans mature and, ultimately, how they taste. Beans grown at higher elevations, usually above 1,200 meters above sea level, MASL, develop more slowly due to cooler temperatures, leading to denser beans with more nuanced acidity and complex flavor compounds. For example, coffees grown at 1,800 MASL in Guatemala or Costa Rica often show bright fruit tones and floral qualities. Conversely, beans from lower elevations may grow faster and tend to have less acidity and simpler flavor profiles. High altitude doesn't necessarily mean better quality on its own, but when combined with proper farming and processing, it's often a sign of high-quality specialty coffee. Bean variety. Arabica versus Robusta and beyond. Coffee bean variety refers to the specific genetic type of the coffee plant. Most specialty coffees are made from Arabica beans, which are valued for their nuanced flavors, lower caffeine content, and smoother acidity. Robusta beans, which are more bitter and higher in caffeine, are typically found in instant coffee or lower-grade blends. Within Arabica, there are many subvarieties such as Bourbon, Typica, SL28, SL34, Geisha, and Caturra, each with its own flavor characteristics. For instance, Geisha is known for its tea-like delicacy and floral complexity, while Bourbon is appreciated for sweetness and body. While casual drinkers may not recognize every varietal, understanding that variety impacts taste helps you appreciate the label's level of transparency and care. Tasting notes. Flavor expectations. Tasting notes on a coffee label offer a preview of the flavors and aromas you can expect when brewing. These are usually determined during a cupping session by experienced tasters and reflect naturally occurring compounds in the coffee. Common notes include fruits like cherry, blueberry, or apple, sweets like caramel, chocolate, or brown sugar, and florals like jasmine or lavender. It's important to remember that these flavors are not additives. They are subtle impressions of the bean's character, much like how wine or tea has nuanced notes. While you may not detect every listed flavor immediately, tasting notes help guide your preferences and set expectations. Roast date. Freshness matters. The roast date is one of the most important indicators of freshness and quality on a coffee label. Unlike supermarket coffee that often lists a best before date months in the future, specialty coffee bags should display the exact roast date. Fresh coffee is best consumed within 2 to 4 weeks after roasting, especially when the beans are stored in a cool, airtight container away from light. If there's no roast date on the package, it's a red flag that the coffee may already be stale. Some roasters also suggest a resting period of a few days after roasting to allow carbon dioxide to escape and flavors to stabilize, especially for espresso. Certifications and ethics. Ethical and environmental certifications on coffee labels give you insight into how the beans were sourced and produced. Common certifications include Fair Trade, which guarantees a minimum price to farmers and promotes sustainable practices, Organic, which signifies the beans were grown without synthetic pesticides or fertilizers, and Rainforest Alliance, which supports environmental conservation and social welfare. While certifications are helpful indicators of ethical sourcing, some of the best coffees come from small farms or cooperatives that practice sustainability but cannot afford certification fees. A transparent label that names the farm, farmer, or cooperative directly can sometimes be more meaningful than a seal. Grind size. If pre-ground. If you're buying pre-ground coffee, the grind size listed on the label is crucial to achieving a good brew. Different brewing methods require specific grind sizes to extract flavors properly. A fine grind is best for espresso machines, which need high pressure and short brewing time. A medium grind works well for drip coffee makers and pour-over brewers, while a coarse grind is ideal for French press or cold brew methods. Using the wrong grind size can lead to over or under extraction, making your coffee too bitter or too sour. Whenever possible, it's recommended to buy whole beans and grind fresh for your brewing method. Packaging. What it tells you: coffee packaging isn't just about aesthetics, it plays a significant role in preserving freshness and quality. A well-designed bag will have a one-way degassing valve, which allows carbon dioxide to escape while preventing oxygen from entering. This is essential because exposure to air accelerates the staling process. High-quality packaging is also opaque to block out light, and resealable to keep the beans fresh after opening. Some roasters use vacuum sealing or nitrogen flushing to preserve coffee during shipping. The more intentional the packaging, the more likely it is that the roaster values quality at every step. To finalize, once you know how to read a coffee label, shopping for beans becomes a journey of exploration rather than confusion. Each detail, from origin and roast level to processing method and altitude, offers a clue to the flavors inside the bag. Coffee isn't just a beverage, it's a global story of land, labor, and craft. By learning to interpret labels, you not only ensure better brews but also build a deeper appreciation for the entire coffee journey, from farm to cup. So next time you're in front of a shelf or scrolling online, don't feel overwhelmed. Feel empowered to choose your perfect cup.